Good morning, afternoon or evening. This is a war selection video, another 1v1 with quite an interesting defense and using Russia against Western Europe. So here you can see I go up to Europe with a nice iron node next to my base. I've got my usual strategy of slingers and bulwarks, as I had plenty of fish on the coastline, which I'm using here, still using with my Bronze Age workers. So now I start tower pushing my enemy, just as I hit the Middle Ages, and again I upgrade my tower straight away, knowing that's one of the weakest points in my wall, not including my houses. So the first bit of combat here, my pikemen and slingers, which were just sent to clear animals for my workers, get attacked by the enemy's swordsman. So I know at this point that my enemy's going to be behind me, because he went for swordsmen, which take research and also require iron, and also a little more resources than usual in the Iron Age. So I fall back to my towers and start fortifying this choke point, which seems to at the moment be the only way to my enemy. So I've only got 2 forts here, and I should probably have a lot more than that. And I do start building some more, as you can see, so I can keep spamming pikemen out, which I was trying to see how well pikemen do. They do okay, they're just not great. You can see the swordsmen quite quickly take out the tower here, and I use the tower to take out the very weakest swordsman, so the tower doesn't have to keep shooting at already almost full health swordsman, and it only prioritizes taking shots that will almost certainly kill in 2 or 3 hits. You can see I'm sending my militiamen over just to stall, and my workers are just able to run away from the swordsman, who instead of going for the workers target my tower, which I then again snipe another 2 or 3 swordsmen. So now I'm starting to freak out a little bit because my base is really inadequately defended. I'm stopping house walls, incorporating walls and houses into one, because it really is not an effective strategy unless you're up against cavalry. Otherwise, it's really an ineffective strategy. As you can see here, I can't pull any workers around quick enough to repair, so we get some of my houses here before I can push them off. But he ignores my workers that I sent before, and I managed to build a tower to get some more vision of the front of my base. And here my pikemen, with the support of 2 medieval towers and a Bronze Age tower, managed to clear out the swordsman. I push out a little bit to defend my towers, which are still being constructed, and my enemy starts going around with more swordsmen, and I leave my workers there to build, as they are still building the tower, which they just get completed, sorry. And I keep repairing until he notices and sends his swordsman to kill my workers like now, and then I try to pull my workers back, but I believe I lose them here. Yeah, I've lost them here, unfortunately. Only 2 surviving. My pikeman is still only just able to take out these swordsmen while I'm repairing my houses. 1 worker here survives on 1 health, and I realise there's a gap in my wood line, which I promptly repair. As you can see, I send out 6 workers to repair this gap, just to stall the enemies longer, just in case they try to flank me there. As you can see, now I'm on the offensive with some halberdiers and spearmen and pikemen, sorry. Trying out some halberdiers. Even after their buff, they are still not very good. Again, I lose my workers that were tower pushing. I had 4, I've already lost 1 and 1's injured. But I stopped him building his wall, which is very important as this is still the only way across. See a little bit of eco-management, and then straight back into the front line, where I've got no workers left, and his army gets defeated. Unfortunately, I just didn't make good use of my workers here, so I take out what I can, my pikemen, and stop him constructing that wall. I also ramp up my defences a little bit around my base, build another tower, and continue moving my warehouses, and a little bit more combat on the front line. Still making more halberdiers, but they're really not very effective. You can see I get into his economy here with some pikemen and halberdiers, and I take out a few workers before he pulls the Mac and tries to build a tower. He's still making swordsmen, and he still has Bronze and Iron Age buildings, so it shows me that he's still not late medieval, or going to IR like me, with a decent economy actually. It's quite interesting to see some people play Asia in 1v1s, as recently I've only ever seen Europe. I think I've played 1 or 2 matches against an Asia player. It's probably just because of the buffs Europe got to weak collection and town hall health. I think, yeah. But yeah, I managed to kill a load of his workers here, and build a vision tower at my base, as you can see in the bottom left on the map, which shows me that there is another way around the main island, the main lake. You can see I also built some walls at his wall to stop him continuing the construction of it. So I start looking at the halberdier stats, and they're not brilliant. And I continue tower pushing to try and take control of this flat area here where I can launch attacks from and recruit new units. Still making swordsmen and pikemen here though. I changed to stratlets, which are high damage melee and range units, basically musketeers, but with a good melee attack, to deal with his Landscknechts, which are pushing up on my towers. I've also got to IR at this point, and managed to upgrade all of my crucial buildings, like my forge, farm, and all my workers in one go. I also stopped making the stratlets here, as I decided to upgrade my barracks and make soldiers instead, as they are much better accuracy and damage, I believe. You can see he's pushing me, and he also seems to have realised there's a second way round after my one vision tower has been constructed here. And my workers are now ready to start building machine gun towers to stop his medieval units. See here, I'm upgrading my stratlets into soldiers, Russian soldiers, and using my red, and starting to stack up some red devils from one stable, just so I have 5 or 6 ready to go for his economy as soon as I see my chance. I'm also struggling a little bit on wood here, but it's nothing major, as I've just got to IR and all my buildings are being upgraded bit by bit. And you can see he's wasting a lot of population in fishing boats that are idle, because I destroyed his port. So he attacks my wood line here. He doesn't realise at first that he can go straight into my base through gaps in the forest, but he sends one pikeman and finds a way through. My whole army is attacking his flank here, while his army is attacking my economy. So it's a bit of a eye for an eye here. See that I'm still managing my economy after IR with a decent amount of wood and good food and iron, and he ignores my workers and goes for my soldiers first, which means he can then get my workers, but my workers are able to get away safely until I mess up and for some reason tell them to build a tower, which is just a waste of resources, and then build another tower, and also try to push them back in to collect wood. Very strange decisions here from me. I'm not quite sure why, but I've killed all of his copper workers there and his warehouse, and he hasn't noticed. I've also lost quite a few workers here in the wood line because of my mismanagement, and I bring my whole army back even though I have no population left. So the few soldiers I do have in my base slowly wear away his heavily armoured Landscknecht. You can also see that he's got longbowmen there while I'm pushing him with towers, and my red devils have already cleared out quite a lot of his workers, which get two-shot by the red devils. I then go to his wood lines and poke around trying to find more workers to get rid of, while my militiamen completely surround his much stronger units and just bog them down so they can't attack. I start researching the tank after building those 3 factories. Probably could have done it at the same time or even before, just to save on efficiency. I've killed most of his woodline workers now, and I'm also starting to clear away his workers here, but that's all my red devils dead. So I continue making more, of course, and I'm still trying to get rid of his heavily armoured units here. There's a few workers in there still fighting for some reason, honestly. I'm not 100% sure there. But I'm also building some anti-tank traps to stop him getting into that wood line again. I continue building this tower and putting pressure on from his flanks, so he pulls pressure off of my flanks as well. But I managed to push back his attack and reinforce my defences here. Ready for the next attack. So you can see that I've pushed up quite far with my soldiers, and I'm just picking off what little of army he has left, getting some vision, and also cutting off his fishing here with like a couple volleys from my soldiers without grenades. I also start making tanks as he's still Middle Ages. I'm not sure if it's early or late, but I managed to get rid of his fishing economy there while reinforcing my base and army. Got even more red devils going in to his farm, and just generally preparing to attack. I'm also starting to make more stables, as the red devils are doing extremely well for me against my medieval foe, and I've started to cut off his forward base, which is gathering him stone, and also he's producing units there. You can see even with so many IR soldiers firing, my enemy is still, my enemy's Landscknechts are still holding on. So my red devils don't manage to catch any workers here, except from about 3 in the forest here, and seeing as they outrun his units, I can run away and just pick off what I want before he can catch me. And as you can see, he's only just started going late medieval, as he did so many expensive units instead of... and it didn't pay off. He did lots of expensive and risky strategies, and it just didn't pay off for him. You can see my tanks now here to finish him off with my soldiers and red devils to stop workers. And it's a relatively slow process because of the European Town Hall health increase, which is now 2 times the amount it used to be. I believe it's at 4,000 health now. And I've also got to IR2 at this point, not with the greatest economy, but it will slowly rise up while my army rolls in to finish him off. See, I'll start making T-34s as well. And my enemy here gets destroyed by my tanks. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have a lovely rest of your day, and goodbye.